For Creamer Media's Polity, I'm Dimakatso Motau. Author, political activist and Professor Raymond Suttner is in the studio to discuss a recent incident in which South African President Jacob Zuma sought to fulfill his promise to a fallen comrade while trying to avoid allegations of favoritism and patronage. Welcome, Raymond. Recently, President Jacob Zuma came under some criticism for handing over a house to his fallen comrade Shadrack Maphumulo's family. Do you think such criticism is fair?
I think it's a very delicate issue. On the one hand, from what I know of Shadrack Maphumulo's life, he did dedicate himself totally and ultimately sacrificed his life in what I would argue was the cause which led to democratic elections in 1994. Consequently, the family lost a breadwinner, and I believe they do deserve public acknowledgement of his contribution and the source of income that they lost through his death. The question really is how this is done. And there are very many people who fall into this category who deserve compensation or recognition and whose families have been left without a source of support. And it's very important that the way we tackle this is according to procedures that can be subjected to scrutiny.
Zuma's commitment to Shadrack Maphumulo was essentially a personal obligation. Why was there a need for Zuma to present this in the public domain?
Whatever Zuma may have done as a personal honouring of a promise which he made to Maphumulo that if one of them died, the other one would care for their family, this was also a public question, in that many people have been in this situation and are now at present not receiving any compensation, and their families are not receiving compensation, and in some cases they are living off the pensions of grandparents in similar situations. Many people criticize such compensation, such pensions, such military payouts. However, it should be noted that people who I would describe as villains of the apartheid period have no such financial limitations. They have very often got double pensions. They can travel the world, whereas people who were sentenced to prison, like Maphumulo was, if they are invited overseas or if they can go in their own means, they have difficulty and are often called out of the queues at Australian or Canadian airports, and getting an American visa is very difficult. So on the one hand, there was a private commitment, and one may say, why was it necessary to cut ribbons? What has happened to the practice of giving things privately and silently? However, seems to be a merging of a private commitment which Zuma undertook to fulfill, and the provision of a 350,000 rand house, which I believe the family deserves. However, how was this done? We need openness about this. There are lots of people in the queue who are struggle veterans' families or members of the community.
Do you not find it strange that it took President Zuma 17 years after democracy to make good of his commitment to build the house for Shadrack Maphumulo's family?
See, I'm not able to psychoanalyze President Zuma, and I'm not surprised. There's nothing that can surprise me, because what I think one needs is an audit of people who fall within that category and a way of dealing with them equitably. As I said, I do believe that the 350,000 is what may be, if that is the amount, we don't know for sure, that may be what is required for decent housing, which I would like to see all people get. Now the question is, in the present situation where all people cannot get that money, how does one deal with it in a manner that conforms to the provisions of the law? So I believe it is not purely a personal commitment. However, it was treated as a personal commitment with contacts.
You argue that patronage is undemocratic. Why do you believe this to be the case?
Patronage refers to a relationship between a powerful individual, a patron, and clients, people who owe loyalty to that individual. Now, in exchange for the loyalty that these people provide, various benefits are given to the clients or people linked to the clients. For example, they will get, this operates not only in politics, but in sport and a number of other areas where powerful people are in the position to leverage funding, positions and other things for people. And patronage happens somewhere we do not see. We don't know how it's happening. It's between powerful person and someone within their network. Now, it's not happening according to constitutional procedures, which is not to say it necessarily breaks the law, but it's somewhere in the darkness where we don't actually know what is happening. Also, patronage can tend to converge with criminality, and it appears to be the case with various tenders, and it may ultimately happen with other associates of powerful people.
Given the ANC's status as a government in exile during that period, it seems that it is finding it difficult to distinguish between party and state. What action could assist the ANC to better understand the separate roles of party and state?
I think that the ANC as an organization comes from a situation where in Lusaka they were a quasi-government providing for the entire family of the ANC, as some people use it, and I think it's maybe a valid description. Now, the ANC as family does not really function in the same way in contemporary situations. There are not the resources, and many of these people are actually starving. Some people who were good at blowing up buildings are not suited to some of the conditions of the day, and they've not been provided for. So if one says there is failure to distinguish organization or party and state, not everyone is deriving benefits from that. And it's not only people in the ANC. Some people in the ANC are not deriving benefits, but some are, and some other powerful people or people close to leading figures in the ANC are deriving benefits. So this all relates to the question of patronage, and it has implications for democracy, in that no matter how much we want to participate in democracy, things happen behind closed doors and in nooks and crannies which we are not part of the democratic and constitutional process. It also affects the functioning of the economy, in that some things can cost more and capacity may be undermined because some people are favoured instead of those who may be best suited for it. Now, I've got nothing against, and I do support empowerment of human beings and people who have been disadvantaged, but that is not the same as buddy networks.
Thanks very much, Raymond, for your time.
Donate now and give 15 Rand a month. SMS JOIN to 41486.